Hi guys, and welcome to episode 1 in a brand new Let's Play series with me, Kysen. Now, before I jump into the start of this, I should probably explain a few things. Firstly, you might notice that I am already level 18, and the reason for that is this is not your typical Let's Play series. So I know that most of the time when a new Let's Play starts, the person has literally done nothing on the world, no items, no building or landscaping or anything like that. But mine was kind of different. So I was playing on this world for a few months. I'd built quite a lot and done quite a lot, obviously, in that time. And I decided I wanted to make a Let's Play because I've been watching Let's Plays for quite a long time. And I thought, well, I'm going to make my own. But I didn't want the whole last few months to be just a complete waste. So I decided I'm just going to pick up from here. So it'd be a little bit different to your normal one. But I think the good thing about it is there's already hundreds and maybe thousands of videos out there if you are interested in learning how to play this game from the very start. So if you want that, that's there, and if not, you can see what I'm up to. So as well as having the levels, I've got quite a lot of really good items here. Good armor, good weapons, all that sort of stuff. Elytra. I have explored the end, and I've defeated the dragon and such. So I'm going to equip all this, and I thought the best thing to do would be to start with a world tour, just so you guys know what I've done to date, and I will also talk a little bit about what will happen in the future. So I'm here at a village, as you can see, and as you can see it's been edited quite a lot by me, but this was actually the first village I found in the game. It's not too far from the spawn point, so if we go through the door here, this is just to keep the villagers all safe. This was basically the first big project I did, and the idea was I wanted to keep all of the villagers safe from mobs, from zombies and such. So I lit the whole of the village up, as you can see, very simply, just with torches here. It wasn't anything fancy or elaborate, but it does the job, it does what it needs to do. And the point of that was basically just to protect the villagers, because in the late game they're very useful for trading, for breeding purposes as well, and things like iron farms and such. So as well as keeping them safe, I did make a few landscaping edits to the village. So there's a fence going all the way around the outside. I built this horrible looking building here. This was just my very first little strip mine that goes down there. Not too impressed with that one, but as I say, it was just a very simple building to start with. One other thing I should mention early on is I'm playing vanilla, and it is essentially a single player, but I am on a local server. My brother also plays on here. He's called Dusty. So from time to time you might see something in chat. Oh, there he is. He's just said hello, or I think that was trying to say hello maybe. But you might see him either in chat or dying or doing something. So we will leave the village now. That's pretty much all there is to see there. As you can see, I built this path here, and this heads off to you can see it just there. There's a windmill, and this is the wheat farm. This was actually the most recent project that I completed. So I've done a lot of building and work underground, but I decided I wanted to start doing more above ground as well, to combine a sort of underground and above ground build for the overall experience. Now this here is just some very simple buildings. So you've got like a farmhouse here. What I was going to do is add villagers to this eventually. Not so much to farm it necessarily, although I might get farmer villagers. I was thinking of just getting some of those little nitwit villagers to roam around in here, because I thought that might look quite cool. And I can hear mobs, but I'm not sure where they are. Okay, there's a spider there. Die. Alright, so I made this lake, lit it up, made these buildings. There will be villagers in here as well, which I'll lock in, and there will be trades that are somewhat wheat or farm related. So I'll just take you guys up through this farm now. I actually didn't have a very good wheat farm until this point. You can see I built scarecrows here as well. I think these guys look pretty cool, and they add quite nicely to the overall effect of the farm. And we'll come up here, this is the windmill. It's a pretty basic build because I wanted to go for a basic farm, like a sort of natural looking farm, rather than something that looks too futuristic or too modern. I know there are a lot of farms you can do that would be a lot more efficient than this, and they can be automatically harvested and such, but this was not just purely so that I would have a good store of wheat. It was also for the aesthetics of, well, I'll show you here. That's my village that I've been building, village, town, whatever you want to call it. But in between that town and the village, there wasn't much going on. So I thought, let's add a load of farms either side. There's a creeper there. Yeah, let's add a load of farms either side. It will be useful because I can get a lot of wheat there, and obviously once I've built the other farms, the potatoes, carrots and such, I'll be able to get a lot of those resources as well. Not that I need them for food as such, but they are useful in terms of trading with villagers to get emeralds and other things. So you can see here I've built some little houses. Again, they're very basic. The plan for those in the future was to add villagers to them. So that one there's the same. This one here, there's really nothing inside. They need to be the interior build needs to be done on those. Kill that zombie. So yeah, more work needing to be done on these in the future. But for now, I just wanted to get the outside done so that I could somewhat plan how the town was going to look. This building here was originally going to be a railway station. I might still make it into a railway station. The problem was, just after I built this, I realised just how awesome elytras were, because I got one, and then thought, why would I need a minecart? But it could be useful for transporting mass storage and stuff like that. Out of these doors, just here, show you guys, we have a sugarcane farm. Now again, this was not built to be completely efficient or automatic. It's purely, well, not purely aesthetical, but it's aesthetical as well as useful for getting me resources. I built a little, I don't know what you want to call this, I guess like a mill building here. This is for storage. As you see, I've got some paper there. I think there's some reeds in here, yeah. A few chests there of reeds and such. I might do a little bit more with this building in the future, maybe just to automate one or two things, and maybe to get some of that storage transported from here to my main storage area, which we will be going to in just a second. And this basically up that way, going away from the town. You see the town here we're heading towards now, so off that way there's a swamp biome, and one of my future projects I want to do is get a witch farm built, and so I'll probably do some more work on making it look good leading into the swamp, and then I'll have the witch farm. So now we've got sort of the centre of the town with the fountain, and just this is purely just aesthetical. The buildings here, again, these will have villagers added to them eventually, maybe for trading purposes, although I was thinking I want more of like a centralised trading area, so it might just be villagers just to make it look better. But it's quite nice up here, it overlooks the town, and as well I think it does make it look a lot better to have these sorts of buildings rather than just having it plain, because as I said, I did start with most of my stuff below ground. So over here, this is where I get all my food. This is my cow farm. As you can see, they are pretty crammed in at the moment, pretty ready there to be killed. And this is the wheat farm I was using before, and you see that is ready to harvest. And I was using that before, obviously, I built the big one. You see there's a bit of a wall here going around. I'll just go up there and show you guys. It's got like a rim around the outside. I built this a long time ago, like a couple of months ago now. It was basically just to try and keep the mobs out a bit, and I had a lot more farming going on at that point, but that was before I decided I would transfer everything and have the farms sort of on the outskirts of the town. So this wall will eventually all come down. I may replace it and rebuild it as a much better wall, because this was only ever just going to be a temporary thing anyway, but I'll see how I go with that. I'm tossing up between either replacing it or just lighting up the area around me. The jungle tree there, I was growing a load of jungle trees in that area at one time, basically just because it's really easy to get a lot of wood very quickly from them, and it was just made sense to have it there. I left one because when I go up there it's a really good viewpoint of the city here, so I can plan things, future projects and such. Okay, this here now, we're heading underground. This will be down into the cave area. See, I've got a couple of dragon heads here. I only actually added them a few days ago. I don't know if I like them or not, kind of in two minds, so they may or may not be staying. But basically, this was actually the second thing I did. After I made the village safe, I decided to find a cave area, and I managed to get quite lucky and find this one, which most of what you see here has not been hollowed out by me. I've tried to build around the natural sort of habitat, the natural landscape of the area, and I think it looks better that way. So I sort of hollowed this area out, made this little bedroom here, which as you can see is very, very basic, but that's again another future project. I've got like 100 future projects, as you can probably tell, and yeah, this is definitely one of them. I need a better bedroom because that is pretty shocking. But the storage room here, this is my bulk storage room. It's pretty useful. It is starting to get a bit full up. You see here, these chests, for example, are now all full of dirt. So I've had to use like sort of backup areas over here, and I'm having similar problems with things like cobblestone. But now that we have shulker boxes, I think it's not going to be a problem. Well, it won't be a problem ever. This will be plenty big enough for everything I need. Again, I built this a long time ago now, but I like to build things bigger, like way bigger than what I need, because I know that in the future, obviously, they're useful. So over here, I've got useful coordinates. I've got my projects book. There's Dusty. I told you about how Dusty is on the server, so that's the coords of his house. So if I show you the coords that I'm at here, you can see that he's about 5,000 odd blocks away. So we're quite far apart in order to not bump into each other and be stealing each other's resources and such. But with my Elytra, I can go and fly and see him, and I will probably do that, if not this episode, probably the next episode, just go and show you Dusty and what he's up to. This is my furnace area, of course. Now, what I want to do is make a big automated furnace area, but this is useful for sort of small to medium projects. But when I do the bigger projects, really tedious having to smelt all the bigger things, the larger amounts, sort of just manually like that. So an auto smelter will be coming. Probably not here, probably in a different area. This is my my glamorous brewing room, which, as you can see, is well, pretty horrible actually. It's basically just here so I can manually make the potions. Again, I will be making an automated one. Obviously, as I've said, I've got a lot of different projects that I want to work on, but there's only so much you can do at one time. So obviously, some of those just have to wait. Okay, through here, I trapped some mobs. Just gonna turn the sound down for those actually. Put that right down, otherwise your ears might bleed. So yeah, I've got the just 4 of them: creeper, skeleton, zombie, and a witch. And the spider. Sorry, I forgot the spider. And basically, the ticking that you're hearing there, through there, which is actually just something I forgot to cover up, is an automated system from my mob farm, which I'll show you guys in a bit. But basically, just gets me loads of the generic sort of mob drops, gunpowder, bones, that sort of thing, arrows, as you saw there. Collects them all here, and again, that's useful for the villager trading side of things. But also gunpowder is very useful for elytras, of course, making these rockets here to fly with that one. The staircase comes I don't think I put this block here. I don't know why that was there. So yeah, the staircase comes down here, and this is where we'll be expanding to. Well, it's one of the areas at least. I will show you the other area now. But that was why I really liked this cave network in the beginning, because it's such a huge network that it was basically, I knew I'd be able to keep expanding into it for a very long time before I ran out of the natural cave area that I wanted to use. That's just a rubbish bin there, just pretty standard, throwing stuff away if I don't need it. So I built a little water drop here. That goes through to the Nether, which I'll show you guys in a bit. This door here doesn't really lead to anything yet, but as you might notice, this here looks like an abandoned mineshaft minus the wood, and that's because it is. Again, I got a bit lucky in that I found an abandoned mineshaft below my base when I was mining down. What I did was just took all the wood out of it, removed a few of the walls, and created what you're about to see here. So it came up here. Again, if there were stairs, I tried to keep them in, tried to keep the natural look of things. This here was going to be a railway between here and my stronghold, and I still might do that. I might do a railway or an ice path or something with this area, but it was basically a project I abandoned a while back. Again, after I got the Elytra, it seemed kind of redundant. But yeah, so the stronghold is off that way about 1,000 blocks, so I might make some sort of tunnel there. Now, as you see, I've done the path through here still, but the walls and that have not been done yet. This is quite a big open area, and there's a lot I can do with it. So I'm still thinking about what I might want to do with this, and that's why the landscaping hasn't been done yet. This was my original cow farm, actually, before I moved them all upstairs to the outside, nicer one. I've just been testing a few things here. This was like an auto armor equipping machine, and I've had a few ideas of what I could do with that. And again, in a later episode, I'll probably do a lot more with that. Now this here is my toggleable toggleable, I think that's the word, right? You guys know what I mean. I can turn it on and off. It's the cave spider farm. Now this was really, really useful for getting me XP early game. However, I have not really used this in quite a long time. Still works though, I think. So basically it's quite a simple idea. You turn the lights off and cave spiders spawn. They come through to here. I can trap them using that block. You see it will shut off any more getting in or other cave spiders falling down, so they all get trapped in that one block. And then push that button. Now this here works on a redstone timer. All the redstone for this is underneath here. So if I was to dig through here, you can see this is where all the redstone is for that. And the timer is just enough to leave them on one hit. And I would then hit them, kill them, get the XP. And there's a hopper system there that keeps all the drops and puts them in here. I removed all the string because I think I needed it for wool and bows and other things. But it was pretty good drops, as I say, for an early game mob farm. Down there is my mine. I'll show you guys that in a second. This here is a tree farm, underground tree farm. Originally I was thinking that I would probably do everything underground, so I built this quite early because obviously you need a lot of wood throughout the game. But having changed my mind on that and looking to do more above ground, I don't know if I'll do much more with this. I was thinking I might extend it further or maybe add a few different trees, maybe some birch trees or something like that. But again, I'll see how I go with that one. So now the mine, I said I'd show you guys that. So this mine idea, I basically was looking for lots of different mining ideas on the internet and such, trying to find out whether there was one that looked better than the rest. And having looked through a lot of different ones, I eventually just decided that I really like Ethos. So this is basically just a copy of Ethos design. There are some slight differences. My pumpkins are down on the bottom here, his are up the top and such. But I felt like his ticked all the boxes in terms of it was simple but looked good. Now in here I've got speed potions there for 8 minutes. The point of that is, of course, if it's quite a big mine. In fact, we'll have a run down there. So it's very useful having these speed potions because obviously all the tunnels you'll see into my left and right here, which are just these sort of 1x1 normal, 1x2 normal strip mining things, they've all been thoroughly explored and they lead into either caves or lava or other obstacles, and that's why they've been left. And this is the central area, as I say, heavily influenced by Etho here. And I had a few plans about what I might do with this. So pretty much directly above this, up that way, we have the mob farm. So I was thinking about whether I want to get the mob drops down here or maybe to do something with that. But because I already have that setup that I have in the base that you saw earlier, it seems like it would be a little bit silly to bring them down here because they'd just be further away. But I think what I will do is make a bit of a storage area here and maybe make some mines going off this way and off this way. And eventually I could maybe put in an underground railway or something like that that would go, maybe an underground railway connecting this here, which is obviously my cave and my town, to the little village that I showed you at the very start, or possibly connecting up to other biomes, or for example I have a mesa biome, I might want to connect up to that via railway. It actually has an abandoned mineshaft in there, mesa biome, so connecting that up by railway might be a good idea because I could link it to the natural mineshaft there. That's pretty much everything in the downstairs bit here. There's a very simple pumpkin farm there, but as you can see it's done quite well for me. This is on the list of things to be moved upstairs to the area in between the city and the village. So we'll head off into the Nether now. Now normally this here is all fire protective armour, so I've got that there. I've got my Nether course book and things here. So I would normally change into that if I was going to be in the Nether for a long period of time, or if I felt like I needed to do something in... Oh. Okay, that was very loud. Apologies for that, if that was a bit loud, guys. But yeah, so for this, just showing you guys around, I won't bother with putting my special armour on. So as you can see, I built this tunnel here, and used lava for lighting, because I thought that would be good, seeing it was the Nether. And this connects up to a stronghold, so we're now going into, not a stronghold, sorry, Nether fortress. So we're now going into that fortress. There's a wither there. So I need to do a lot more with this area, as you can see. It's been sort of modded slightly, but there's a lot more things I want to do with it. Essentially though, this is just a walkway that takes me to my Nether base, which we're coming up to just through here. Now this was a pretty early build for me on the server, or the single player world, whatever you want to think of it as. I built it again a few months ago. So I've got a blaze farm here, which I need to go AFK at to really show you guys how it works, so I probably won't do that today. But basically it's using these levers and buttons and things, I can make the blazes come and collect in here, get them down to one hit, stand in there, get loads of experience, and also lots of blaze rods. So you see I've got a few there, and a few back at the base. I built a very simple Nether wart farm here as well, because I was doing a bit of a potion brewing thing, which you might have seen over here. So this was to make the fire resistance potions. Obviously in the Nether they are very useful. So I've got all the ingredients there to build them, and all the brewing stands here to make those potions up. And then I've got the spare potions right here. Now the armour that I showed you a minute ago is so good that the fire resistance potions aren't needed very often by me now. But they will come in handy for certain projects and things in the future, I'm sure. This was my original enchantment area as well, so you can see there's a bit of leftover lapis there, and obviously the bookshelves and such, and anvils, but I actually have a much better area now. So after finding my stronghold, of course I went to the end and decided to make the Enderman farm. Now that was really useful, because not only does it get loads of experience, but it's obviously very useful for all the ender pearls that you get as well, which just make the travelling around the world so much easier. So I've pretty much showed you everything now that is on either in the Nether or in the mainland. So we'll go back through here. Hopefully this doesn't get too loud again. Alrighty, so we've got a very basic water elevator here to get us back up to the cave where we were earlier. So as I said, I showed you the Nether, I've showed you the village and the town and pretty much everything around here. So the last thing to show you now would be the stronghold. Oh, actually, second last thing, because there's some skeleton horses here. These guys are pretty cool. I only got them recently as well. They've not got very many hit points, and they're not the fastest, but they're pretty cool to look at aesthetically. And I'm not sure if you can breed them or not, actually, I haven't looked into that yet, but I will look at that and see if I can get some faster ones. Just turn this weather down here a little bit, the rain's a bit annoying. So my stronghold's off in this direction, and I'm going to check I'm wearing my elytra, yeah. So we'll head off here. Now, it seems to be lagging a little bit, maybe because I'm recording, I don't know. But I'll show you guys, obviously my stronghold, I'll show you the ender farm that I have there. I probably won't do any end city exploring today, I've done a lot of that. So yeah, I haven't really set anything up in the end city area as such. I did want to go and get a load of purpur from there and make a purpur farm. I think those blocks are really cool to build out of. They look really good and they're quite unique in the game. There's not anything else that's really very much like them. Well, that's really weird. I haven't actually ever flown through snow before. That's quite a cool effect actually. So yeah, I will make a purpur farm at some point. The next projects that I'm really focusing on though were all about getting it right in between. Oh, this here's a little beacon just to show me where my stronghold is, because it's in the middle of all these trees. I was going to do a lot more with this area as well. I was thinking of building up maybe a castle sort of complex here above ground that then will lead down into the stronghold area here. I think that could look quite cool. Oh, something hit me on the way down there. It was a spider. So this is my stronghold, a few leftover items there from when I was exploring this. And yeah, so as I say, I might build a castle complex up there and bring that down. But I'm looking at doing a lot of farming, so the next episodes will probably be a lot on farming and sorting out the area in between the city and the village. Oh, that was... sorry guys, it seems to be quite loud when I go through these portals. I'll get that fixed for the next episode. But yeah, so I'll probably work on some more farms in between those areas and work on making the area look pretty good. And I will also probably do a lot of that off cam, sort of introduce the idea and maybe just show you guys a few little clips. Now, before we go in here, I'm going to turn my volume way down because we get a lot of Enderman in here and it makes a real loud noise. So this is a bit messy at the moment, mainly because I built this storage area and, well, I can't believe I actually missed that chest. Every other double chest here. Oh, I missed a few of these chests. Wow, I thought I checked these like 100 times. Okay, well, the vast majority of these chests, as you can see, are filled with ender pearls. You get ridiculous drop rates if you spend just a little bit of time at this farm. With the new mending enchantment as well, the fact I've got mending on everything here, it's so useful to have this, because not only do I need the experience for enchanting new items, but it just repairs everything, of course. So this is where I moved. I said about how I had the blaze farm, and that was my original enchanting area, and I moved it all to here. So I've got loads of enchanted books in there, a few more in there as well. Some basic enchantment materials. The leather actually doesn't need to be here anymore now. I have mending elytras, but that's okay. Again, loads of chests. This area needs to be cleaned up a bit, but it serves its purpose at the moment to build that. Now I'll show you guys the animal farm up the top there, just to show you how that works. It's probably quicker if I just fly up actually. And now again, this here, I saw Etho's design for this. Oh, I thought I was going to die there. I was so sad for a moment. Okay, so that was really scary. I've died in the void a couple of times and it is just the worst feeling because obviously you lose all of your stuff. I have no idea why my elytra wings were not kicking in there. I was, my heart is pounding. I was spamming spacebar then to get that working. Now that's actually a bit of an issue because I don't have any more rockets on me. But that's not a problem, I can still show you the farm. So yeah, as I said, this is basically just Etho's design. I saw his video on it, it worked really well, and I was like, yep, it works really well, let's do that. No need to really spend loads of time creating something else just to be unique when this works, right? So as you can see here, it's like a big semicircle, and it's actually really big, and I say that because I remember building this, and my goodness, it took a long time. So I went for just this different coloured clay for the design. The way it basically works, for those of you that haven't seen Etho's design or whatever, is there's an endermite in there that I've named, and all the endermen of course flock towards him. They think they can stand on this block, but they can't. They fall down into there, and again they are left on just the half a heart hit. Let's skip this process, and so then I kill them, and get all their ender pearls and all their experience, and it's really quite useful. Okay, so that's about it. I've shown you pretty much everything in the world. Obviously I've only shown you very quickly. I haven't gone into detail on how I built everything. I will probably show you guys a few of the things I've built in more detail in the future if people are interested, or if I feel that would be a good thing to do. But for now, I thought I would finish up the episode on a bit of a project. So start a project here, and then we'll carry on with that next episode. So I will see you guys back in the overworld. Okay guys, we are back in the overworld now. As you can see, there is the wheat farm over there. Now I just had a look at how long this episode has been going for, and it's actually run on quite a long time. I didn't think it would take me so long to show you guys everything. So I'm not going to be able to start a new project in this episode, unfortunately. What I will say is I'm quite keen to keep working on enhancing this area in between the village there and the city back here. So I will probably start moving my cow and sheep farms and other farms into these sort of areas and build them into the landscape that's already here. So that's probably what I'll be working on next episode. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.